Good afternoon, friends. Hi, Connor. Ooh, you are right on time today. Wednesday, James 3, and Abby. Hi, guys. And Morgan and Maddie. Hello! I think everybody's joining, like, faster and faster every day. I had to double check to make sure I have notes for today. I do. Don't worry. I prepared. But I had a moment of panic where I was like, did I forget? Luckily, that was not the case. Peyton's here, too. We have so many people here. Emily and Peyton and Abby and Connor and Morgan and Maddie. And I might have forgotten somebody. Oh, I can wave at everybody. Wave, 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 wave. Okay, I think I waved at everybody. I'm just gonna... Oh, thank you. A little bit. You're so welcome. Hannah brought me a coaster for my drink, which says... It's backwards. It says, "You are fearless." Which is, like, not true, but, like, in Christ, all things are possible.
How's everybody doing today?
Emily waved at us. Hi, Emily.
Hello, Emily.
I deeply hope everybody is doing great. Not just good, but excellent.
How are you doing, Olivia?
Well, I had a great morning, and then I realized that I have an assignment due tomorrow, and I thought it was due not tomorrow. So that was a little stressful. But then Hannah and I went for a walk, and I was like, Hannah! And then I was like, oh, wait, I can do it tomorrow. So now I'm
we're
fine.
chatting in. Plus, it's a gorgeous day outside.
It's so
walks
sunny.
in the sun just really help everything, I think.
Maddie, thanks for asking how we are. That's
we are doing okay. We are surviving.
Connor's
Morgan
doing online spring shopping. Sorry.
It's okay. That's very exciting, Connor. What are you shopping for? And
Do tell.
Morgan, I love starting new books.
What book are you reading, Morgan? Give us recommendations. Tomorrow is my last official day of school, even though my assignment is due Monday. Don't know why.
We have exams also coming up.
But aside from that, I'll have more time to read. So send me book recommendations, you guys. Although the libraries are closed. Oh my gosh.
This is what Amazon is for.
Amazon isn't shipping books until May. Anyway, okay, exciting news. This is not exciting news, never mind. I was just going to say that I went to the library before it closed, so I have a couple of
smart.
books.
She, knew
I'm,
was coming.
hoarding them. I'm, waiting. I'm, one book at a time. Just wait it out. Oh, dear.
And then she's going to start rereading. That's going to be the second cycle.
Luckily, I like to reread, so it'll be okay. I have a lot of books. Oh, I should do a bookshelf tour. Mostly for me. We'll see. Ideas.
Oh, Josh. Wow. What a great recommendation.
That's so nice. Guys, my book is coming out so soon. I'm so excited.
Shameless plug.
Okay. Oh, Peyton is right, though. Ebooks are a thing.
Oh, yeah. That's so true.
So true. I was really...
So true, Peyton. Wow.
Really
so
blessed.
Smart.
My boyfriend Zaya got me a tablet for Christmas. I didn't have one before, and I started reading ebooks this year, and now we can't have physical books, and I'm like, thank you, Zaya. I am prepared.
Zaya also thought ahead. He just knew what to do.
He's so smart. Okay, anyway, enough talking about my books and my boyfriend. It's been a talk about Olivia's life today, honestly. But we're not here to talk about me. Ooh, sorry. Morgan is also right, though. Audiobooks are key.
I'm listening to one right now. It's great.
Yes.
Okay, focus.
Yes.
Ooh, we're going to do this.
Can you tell it's been a long day? Okay, we're in James. Literally forgot. I was like, what are we doing? James 3. Luckily, when I write my notes, I write out a recap of the day before, which is good, because today's the day I really need notes. Okay, I do remember yesterday, though. We were kind of all over the place. I think I did a little bit of a rant, which is it is what it is. I hope you guys like them. But we were talking a little bit about favoritism and how there were all these divisions in the church. Josh is still going. About how there were these divisions in the church and people treated different people of different classes differently, and how James is kind of saying enough, just be kind to everybody, please, because that's what Jesus wants you to do. We also looked at all the different ways James is referencing different places in the Bible, biblical stories, Abraham, Rahab, the Ten Commandments, and we talked about faith and actions. So I'm assuming most of you guys have seen it already. If not, you can watch it after you stop watching this video, because it'll be on YouTube. But kind of talked about how we cannot earn our way into heaven by making certain actions or by doing certain things, but we can, when we have faith, then we see our faith reflected in our actions. So that was yesterday. Today, James 3, my Bible has a subheading and it says Taming the Tongue. And I'm like, didn't we talk about that yesterday? But I think it's kind of like a theme. So yeah, I don't really have anything to say about James 3 until after we read it. So I think we'll read it. Maybe I'll read the first 9 and Hannah can read the second 9 verses. Because there's 18. Math.
Wow, worked out so well.
Math. Okay. James 3.
Oh no, okay, that's it.
It's this, and then you're going to read this.
Okay, perfect.
James 3. Not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly. We all stumble in many ways. Anyone who is never at fault in what they say is perfect, able to keep their whole body in check. When we put a bit into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small piece of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. All kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures are being tamed and have been tamed by mankind, but no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison.
With the tongue we can praise our Lord and Father, and with it we can curse human beings who have been made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing. My brothers and sisters, this should not be. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers and sisters, can a fig tree bear olives or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. But if you harbor bitter envy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast about it or deny the truth. Such wisdom does not come down from heaven, but is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Peacemakers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness.
Okay, so we have a lot going on in this passage, like a lot. It's pretty aggressive. James is not pulling any punches here. He's kind of being like, people, like that. So I think what it might be useful to do kind of as a way of like being like, what did we just read? Let's go through and write down or underline. I'm a big fan of underlining, but up to you. All the things the tongue is compared to, because we kind of blitz through a bunch of them, but I find going back again and kind of noting them all down or underlining or whatever kind of makes them stick in your head, makes you go like, okay, yeah, I see that. Like, I blitzed over it or I glanced over it the first time I read it, but I'm getting this impression now. So let's go through and do that to start.
We forgot music again.
I know. At this point in the video, like 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, it always occurs to me that I don't have music, and then I'm like,
Everyone just put on your own music.
That's such a good idea. Oh, I forgot to say this before, but as always, drop down in the comments section the things that you're seeing and noticing. What words or phrases or comparisons is James drawing between the tongue and other things in the passage? Like putting bits into the mouths of horses would be an example. Ooh, Connor's got another one. The tongue is a fire. Nice. Yeah.
I just read that one.
Oh. So we'll give like one more minute for people to finish up, but you guys can go ahead and start commenting now. Okay, maybe we'll go through, check in on our notes. Morgan says the tongue is a ship. Yeah, I like that. I thought it was interesting. My version called the ship's driver like a pilot, and I was like, isn't it a captain? Did your version say pilot?
My
too?
version says pilot, and when I first read it, I was like, I didn't know there were airplanes back then, and I was like,
Oh,
wait.
I wonder...
Mine says, and a small rudder makes a huge ship turn wherever the pilot chooses to go, even though the winds are strong.
I wonder
pilot.
if both of our versions say pilot and not captain. It probably has to do with the translation. I haven't done any research into this, but I'm curious if the word pilot has a different connotation or
I wonder
or
if
been used differently or something than the word captain.
I wonder if a pilot and a captain are different things. Like a pilot, drives the ship itself, whereas the captain kind of governs everybody on the ship and makes sure everybody's doing the right things. And then the pilot or the driver, Morgan says his says pilot too.
Yeah.
They because it specifically says the small rudder makes a huge ship turn. So I wonder if the pilot is literally the one that would be at the wheel. I think because ships have wheels, or they would have back then.
Interesting.
Literally steering the direction of the ship.
Good point, Hannah. That's so wise.
Thanks.
Let's see. Abby says, people can tame animals, but no one can tame the tongue. Do you guys all have the whole list of animals? My version, NIV, says animals, birds, reptiles, sea creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mine does.
Interesting.
I think Peyton said too. Oh, yeah. She said the birds, fish, and reptiles.
Oh, yeah.
And the large horse, the bit in the large horse's mouth. Yep, I have that one too.
Good point. I went ahead into verse 9, 10, 11, 12, and thought this was interesting because obviously in the first kind of part of that verse where you guys have all touched on, he's talking about, Connor's version doesn't have the list. That's interesting. He's talking about comparing the tongue to stuff that we've all kind of noted down, but then in the later half, he goes, he talks about fresh water and salt water, and then he also talks about fig trees bearing olives or grapevines bearing figs, which is not exactly the same thing. He's not literally saying your tongue is like fresh water, your tongue is like salt water, but he is saying if you're the type of person who praises God, but then is super nasty to people, it's this dichotomy or this imbalance of I'm one thing, but I'm also this other thing. How can that be? How can I really praise God if the same mouth and mind and body that's praising God is also being nasty? It kind of ties back into the idea of faith and actions. How can you say you have faith if your actions are really nasty? How can you be praising God if you're also being so mean to everybody else? I thought that part was interesting.
I thought it was interesting, too, how right before then, in verse 8, right after it says the whole list of all the animals and everything, it says, but no one can tame the tongue. It is restless and evil, full of deadly poison. I thought that was interesting that James compared your tongue to, poison, because it just shows how much power you have by, what you say, and how, even, little things you say or just the words you use can be so harmful.
Yeah.
I just thought that was kind of a powerful reminder that it can be very harmful.
Yeah. I know in this day and age we're all totally enlightened about this, but have you guys ever heard the phrase sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me?
I have never heard that phrase before in my entire life.
Well, I used to, like, it's a phrase that was really common in a lot of, like, older books, like the Laura Ingalls series or Anne of Green Gables or something like that. Like older people would just, like, say it to younger people, like, stop being hurt. Words can't hurt you. Move on.
Yeah.
And then when I got older, I started seeing it, but, like, people were debunking it. So they'd be like, oh, you know that phrase? It's not true. Words can really hurt. And even one of the commentaries that I was reading yesterday brought it up. I think that's why it's in my head. And they were like, this is false.
Yes,
Morgan's right. Words can still hurt. And that's what James is saying, too, right? He's like, you can do so much good with your words, but you don't understand. You can do so much bad. Like, there's a lot of power in the things that you say. You can hurt a lot of people if you're not being careful.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought.
But that's a good place to end it. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Okay. Let us turn back to our journals. Yes, Peyton is agreeing. I hope you guys are, like, not using caps because you're, like, super personally hurt by somebody's words at this moment. If you are, I'm really sorry. But I think we all probably have had experiences where somebody's words hurt us, so we can all probably relate to that. But let's turn back to our journals for a moment, and let's kind of go into, like, application land again and think, what does this look like in my life? How am I using my words? Do I notice a lot of this kind of, like, imbalance? Like, I'm acting this way to this person and this way to this person. Or I'm acting this way at church and this way at home. Or, like, do you notice an area of your life where you're like, oh, man, like, I kind of am doing the freshwater, saltwater, different types of fruit thing. And then just kind of journal that. Like, you can take a minute during the journaling if you're not feeling. We think our internet went down. Maybe.
It told us at the video pause, so hopefully everything's okay.
Fine. Morgan says the caps are for emphasis. Excellent. Love that. Okay, sorry. Recap, because the video paused. We're going to our journals. We're going to talk about how James 3 affects us, looks in our life. Are we convicted? Okay. For those of you who are kind of just joining us, the reason we're sitting here and not speaking is because we're journaling. We just looked at James 3, and we're kind of exploring how this passage affects us, how it affects our life. Do we feel convicted by the way James talks about kind of controlling our words and the power that our words have? So we're going to take a minute or two more to keep journaling, and then we're going to have some chats. Okay. What are you guys thinking or finding or being convicted or encouraged by in this section? I see in the comments that Owen has joined us. Hi, Owen.
Hello, Owen.
Peyton says you can train the large horse to do the right thing or say good things and not rude ones. Right, so there is an element of practice involved. Sure, I was thinking the same thing actually, because as I was reading this section, I was like, okay, so this isn't like a new concept for me. Like, I've read James before, and I know that I have to watch what I say, but I'm not perfect at it yet. And James literally says that in verse 2, chapter 3, verse 2, we all stumble in many ways. And so I was thinking in my own life, like, yes, okay, I know that I have to be careful of this, and I'm working on it, but I'm not there yet. So this is something I have to keep working on. Mm-hmm. Morgan says, you can't say you have faith, but not follow God's commands. Yeah, true. That's kind of a theme in James, I think. I think we're going to see that kind of popping up again and again and again. Anybody else have thoughts, things that are kind of like occurring to them, popping up as they read and write and explore the Bible? Hannah, did you find anything?
Yeah, a couple of things stuck out to me. The first thing was kind of going back to the whole, like, words are like poison, and how that, like, reminds us about how powerful words are, like, or can be negatively. I feel like it's also a reminder, like, the other way, that words are very powerful positively as well, and that we have the opportunity to like, really encourage people or love on people through our words. It sometimes strikes me how, like, when you go to a big event, like a birthday party or like a celebration of someone's life or like a wedding or something, everybody has all these like kind things to say about like the person that's like the center of attention or whatever. And it always strikes me that I'm like, why do people save big events like that to tell people the things they like about them? Like, why don't they just like tell them, like, every day, like, wow, I really appreciated when you did this, or wow, you were so good at doing that. Like, it kind of like, why don't we do that? Why isn't that like a normal everyday thing? And so I think we have kind of that opportunity, because words are so powerful and so impactful, that like, just daily we can take that opportunity to like encourage people and to love on them. Yeah, it takes it back to another verse that I can't remember where it's from, but it's a very popular verse, and it's like, encourage one another and build each other up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what that verse that is.
I don't either.
But that's kind of the same kind of thing.
Yeah, same idea. Morgan was saying, sorry, as you were talking, that someone can be turned when someone else says a few words, like, which was actually completely in line with what you were saying, because somebody else's life can be so affected when you say something really kind to them, or when you tell them what you really think, or encourage them, or build them up, or whatever.
And sometimes it's totally unintentional, too. Like, I have a friend who was friends with someone else for years and years and years, and her friend like, didn't come to church, wasn't a Christian, and they didn't even have that many deep conversations. She just like mentioned things here and there. They had a few small conversations. My friend didn't think anything of it, and then like 10 years like into their friendship, her friend was like, oh, I think I'm like, or I'm reading my Bible, and my friend was like, what? And like, her friend was like, yeah, like those things you mentioned. So like, words are so powerful, you don't even know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which then just goes to show you have to be so careful with your words when you use them, because even like unintentionally, they can be very powerful as well. Yeah.
Very cool. Anybody else out there in our youth small group world having thoughts, things occurring to them? Oh, I'm seeing emojis, but I can't see what they are.
I think it's like for him being a rock star.
Oh, you're right. I'm actually not as blind as I appear on these live streams.
It's just dark in that corner right now,
and it's hard far away. Like, look, I know, more than an arm's length away. Science.
Also, I'd just like to say, for once in my life, when you sit back like that, I'm taller than you.
That's because I have some posture.
Yeah, I know. If we could just maintain that, that'd be great. Okay. Are there any other thoughts or questions?
I can always do research and come up with the answer for tomorrow or the day after. Like, depends on how big the question is. But don't be afraid. Ask. Not a problem. If I don't know, I'll be like, oh, I don't know. But I'll try to find out.
Then we'll ask Josh.
Josh, this is coming. Yeah. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and have a prayer, and then if people are posting while we're praying, then we'll see it pop up.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Josh said LOL. Good thought, Josh. Okay, let's pray. Jesus, thank you for James, and for the way that he was able to use his words to build us up and influence us 2,000 years after you were around on the earth in a physical way. I just pray that you would help each one of us to keep learning and growing in our faith, that we would have the strength and the presence of mind to learn to control our tongues and to start using the words that we have in a wise way to encourage one another and build each other up. Thank you for the way that you are always with us, and the way that you continue to support and comfort us in crazy times of self-isolation. We also pray for people who are sick or who are struggling or feeling lonely in a different kind of season of life, that you would give them your comfort and your peace and your healing. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Look at all those
Everybody was
prayer emojis.
praying along with us.
I love that.
So good. So good.
So good.
I was in a live stream yesterday, like I was participating in one, and it was right at the end, and I thought of something to say, and I typed it in, and it didn't send, and then the video ended, and I realized that because of the delay, she had ended the video probably before I sent the comment, which I was like, oh my goodness, this is what it's like to be on the other side.
That delay, man.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Avery! I mean, we're very happy to see you, but we're sad because you joined and we're just about to shut it down. I feel like Avery is always joining right when we're about to shut it down, and I'm so sad.
We started 3.
Peyton said, everything we do needs to revolve around God. Amen, sister. So true. Avery, don't apologize. We love you. It's okay. We're just like sad for you because we don't get to hang out with you as much. But we're happy you're here. Very happy.
Mm-hmm.
We miss all of you guys a lot. Oh, Peyton says our actions and our words and our deeds.
Needs to
like
revolve around
everything.
God.
Yes. Good point. Excellent
Yes.
job. I was like, I don't get it. But luckily Hannah put that one together for me.
It's okay, Peyton. I understand you.
Okay, well, I think we will say adios.
Call it there.
And adieu. Can you tell I'm speaking more slowly, like trying to give... Ooh, shout out you tonight at 7. I don't know if, is Josh shouting it out, or does he want us to shout it out?
Both.
Both.
So we're going to do an Instagram live at 6:50 before you starts. So hop on. We'll say hello. I don't know if Nash will make an appearance again, but that was pretty entertaining last time, so we'll see.
I'm just going to be like, is the Instagram live on Instagram? Where is the Instagram live going to be?
On Instagram. And then after that, we will hop over to YouTube and we will watch the content for tonight. Josh has some super fun games planned. So you should definitely tune in.
Come!
At 7 because
Hi,
it's going to
Hunter.
be live and it's going to be great. 6:50, 50, the second one you typed.
Good question, Peyton.
Yes.
You would be waiting for a
long
long time.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. 6:50 on Instagram, 7 p.m. on YouTube. Be there. Tell your small groups. Tell your leaders.
Yeah, tell your small groups to
Yeah.
come. We are only interacting with such a small portion of our actual students, and
We
we're like,
miss
we
you
don't know
all.
where you are. Come talk to us. Come
It's
hang
all
out
good,
with us. Connor keeps saying bye because we keep saying we're going to go,
keep
and then we
leaving.
keep not leaving.
Okay, we're going to actually
Sorry,
go.
Connor.
So,
We're just letting you down.
thanks for coming, guys.
Thank
We'll
you for
see
being here.
tonight.
We
at
think you're fun.
6:50.